So last week during day 4, we saw like how to make use of group by operator, how to club it with for, value operator, reduce and all. Also we saw a scenario of like enhanced open SQL, wherein you can use all the features of the modern ABAP SQL and get your required output in a much more easier way rather than writing all the logic at the application server level. So initially let's have a few minutes of discussion. I have unmuted you all. If anybody has got any doubts or anything, they can unmute themselves and ask me. Okay, first thing that I need to discuss is this last question which I had given, the select query. Did anyone try a complex one? Did anyone try? Hello? Are you all there? Hello? Okay, Vimla, can you show us your the select query? Can you just ping it here? Stephanie, you didn't try that last one. So I'm going step by step with the first question. Any doubts in the first question? Anyone? If anyone has any doubt, please unmute yourself and speak up. Any doubt in the first question? Okay, then I take it as no for the first question. For the second question, I think anyway there should be no doubt. It's like same to same, you have to ditto practice the same, right? Now coming forward to the third question, I hope you people have achieved the same output. Any query related to the third question? Were you able to use this 3 for? Was it achievable? Or any doubt? Any other participants, any doubt, please speak up. Okay. Question number 4, like how we tried. So can you tell me, Mirko, can you please tell us, like when you made the records to 1 lakh, what was the difference in time? Can you please unmute yourself? Just tell us the difference in time. Mirko, are you there? Just unmute yourself.
Okay. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, Mirko, we can hear you.
Okay. I don't know if you have seen my response about this specific problem, but for 100, I have a difference of for 100 records, 206 to 32. So it was significantly less. Then for 1,000, I have 536 microseconds against 194. Then I have for 10,000, 3,611 against 1,780. For 50,000, I have 17,693 against 9,187. And when I try 1,000, or I'm sorry, 100,000, it blew up. It evended for both, you know, for both ways. But when I change it for, I'm sorry?
How much did the
The records,
RTA, how much did it
it
go
was
up to?
100 records and using type I. But
Okay.
then when I change for integer to integer 8, the old way didn't fail, but the new one failed. The new one failed.
So INT, okay, so with INT 8, the new one failed, right? That's what you are telling.
Yes.
So here, while initializing your temporary variable, did you make it init y type as INT 8? Did you do that?
Yeah, I did INT 8 for the new one, actually for both, for the old and the new. I was consistent with both. But, you know, for 100,000, it failed on the new one only, not on the old one, but in the new one, it failed.
Yeah, so what I'm telling is, with the reduce operator, as we had discussed last time, the type that we specify here, this type carries a lot of significance. Even when you are doing your real-time requirements, if by mistake, if you give a different type here, no, either your output is going to crash or your output is going to miss something. So this type plays a very significant role. So what is happening actually, when I am trying to sum up to 1 lakh, like 100,000, as you say, okay. So when I am trying to sum up to 100,000, the number that I get ultimately as the result will be a huge number, right? It will not be INT1 or INT2, right? It will be more than that because the length will be more. So the thing is that if you would have seen, for most of our mathematical calculations in SAP, most of the cases it goes with your DMBTR or WRBTR, as in I am saying like decimals 32 or decimal 23.2, right? If you would have seen for most of the data element, right? For the standard fields.
Right.
So just try, if you give your type as decimal 13,2 or decimal 23,2, as in DMBTR or WRBTR, then you see whether it's crashing or not.
Okay.
Got my point?
Okay, I'll have to. Yes.
Because what happens when such a big number comes as a part of the output, it is not, see, what is happening actually, next y is equal to y plus, okay, so basically y will be keeping on getting incremented with the summation value, right? Right or wrong?
Yeah. Yeah, it's right. It's
if y
incremental.
is not able to sustain the bigger value, so how will it go on and pass to LV underscore sum1? Understood the concept? And ultimately, even if you make this type as compatible, this also has to be compatible, right? If I make this as DMBTR and I make this as I, then again it will crash, because while assigning, this will be of type I, whether this will be of DMBTR or WRBTR. So that's why this and this type plays a very major role.
Okay, and the type for should I write it right after the letter Y?
Yeah, reduce. Here give whatever type you want. Suppose DMBTR underscore CS, INIT initialize Y type DMBTR underscore CS or WRBTR, whatever it is. Whatever type you give, automatically this will take care. And as in ABAP, that implicit casting happens, right? Whenever we are adding whatever type of this is there, it will keep on getting added and convert to this type. So it will take care of that during arithmetic computations.
You said the type goes between the in your example, between the Y and the equal sign.
Where I have given Y equals to 0, where I have given Y equals to 0, remember that scenario where this one example here, see here, filter, just a second, I'll show you. See, reduce DMBTR underscore CS, initialization Z, type DMBTR underscore CS.
I got you. I didn't see that.
Syntax.
Okay, all right.
The syntax. That's why my focus was that is the reason why, not about only RTA, to understand this concept. Is it clear now to all?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Miko.
Okay, thank you.
So now coming to question number 5, whom should I pick up? So Sudha is there. Let's pick up random people. Sudha, are you there today? I think Sudha is not there today. So whom should I take? Aditi, are you there? Guys, don't fear that I'm just taking your names. I'm just taking random names. Yeah, Danny, you can share your experience with us with the COND operator issue that you faced. Kindly speak up. Please unmute yourself and just let us know about the issue that you faced. Danny, are you there?
Hi, sorry, I just unmuted. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Just be a bit audible so that everybody can hear.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, it's fine now.
Yeah, I have the syntax to use the conditions at my work. I wish I can send this code and I tried to copy and paste into the chat, but it doesn't allow me, it looks like.
At least tell us the scenario. We can try to break it up and try to get a solution.
Yeah, okay. So in the condition, the syntax where we can use the when, is it allowed that for us basically to compare using the a conditional syntax as well, like combining with the or and together in the when? Because when I tried that, it actually came up with the wrong result on it.
No.
So I wish so I can.
I understood what you are trying.
Yes.
I understood what you are trying. Don't try a for operator inside a cond. You can try a table expression inside a cond because it's a one line of execution. When multiple execution will happen with cond, for it will not be able to interpret at all. Because see, normally what happened in earlier case statement, if it's true, then this. If it's not true, let's go to the next case, right? Similarly, with the cond operator, you can mix up and match up. But make sure that the execution happens in a single line, because as per the syntax, suppose now on that day when we were discussing with cond, we were like mixing up switch as well. Okay, you can add multiple conditions, you can add multiple things. But make sure, suppose like if you want to do a read table, and along with the read table you want to do on the basis of some free keys. So make use of the table expression, get the value. So suppose like third bracket on in the like this per the syntax, you get the value, compare whether it is matching with something or not. If that is true, then this value is this value. Understood?
Yep.
If you want to club.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you.
Fine. So nobody's picking up. Sudha, Aditi, anyone? I want to ask you. So, anyways, if your people are not speaking up. So, question number 5: did you all try by making use of the filter operator, filter and accept? Did you all try? Did you all get the required solution?
Kabir, I have a question. This is Mirko again.
Yeah, Mirko, tell me.
Yeah, for number 5, you know, for the, you know, you wanted two different results, right? And it was pretty simple just to put one equal and not equal. But I tried to use also except, and I couldn't get it. You know.
No, except. So did you try this way? Except. So IT Mara except in, but the filter condition has to be same. It should not give not equals to here.
Okay, that's different. I was having two different conditions.
I understood. What you are trying, you are giving not equals to also here and except also here. So except operator, basically the concept is whatever filter table you have created. Okay, the filter table condition I am not changing at all. It's just that whatever select on this internal table the data I was fetching, I want to negate the result out of it. I want to get the opposite records out of it. So my condition remains the same. I just switch this one. I just add an except condition.
Right. It is because you have only one condition in the where, right?
Yeah, right.
Well, I was having two conditions. I was having the mat-nr, and also I was having the mtart. I was having both. You know, but well, it was my mistake. It was a misconception.
I understood. If you see, this is my unique value, right?
Right.
This is my unique thing. So obviously, it will not give you the required result.
Correct. Right? Okay. Yes. I got it. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, Vimla, the syntax that you are sharing, that's what we are discussing. If we use except and you give not equals to here, then it's both are negating each other. That's what we were discussing. Now coming to question number 6. Did all try both these scenarios? One with type I and by then passing in during the debugger mode some floating point values. Did you people try this both? Okay, so Vimla didn't try. Any others who tried both the scenarios? Did you observe the difference in the output when you have provided some in floating point values, and if you provide I, how the value is getting messed up? Did anyone try this one? So Sushil, you got the required output. Did you observe did you do any kind of analysis? Did you observe what happened when you gave I and you tried to put floating point values during internal table during the debugger mode? Did you see what happened? You would not have got the complete value, right? Not an issue, Mirko. Just try with this one. Today you try with this one. Yeah, Sushil, right. So now question number 7. Vimla, can you please unmute yourself?
Hi, Kabir.
Vimla, can you please unmute yourself? For.
Can you hear me?
Hello.
Hello.
Vimla, your voice is very low. Can you be a bit louder?
Yeah, okay, Kabir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I am able to hear you. Are others able to hear Vimla? Okay, fine. You speak up.
Yeah, Kabir. I tried with EKPO.
Okay.
The 7th zone.
So did you try something like this, or you tried at some different combination?
With the same thing with EKPO also, I joined with EKPO EBLN equal to EKKO.
Okay, so you had an inner join between EKKO and EKPO, right?
Yeah.
So you got the required output?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes, Kabir, I got it.
So, like, how did you try to find, like, make any difference between the normal SQL that we used to write earlier, then loop at internal table, doing all this at the application layer, rather than your HANA database doing everything for you? Did you try to understand, did you try to do a runtime analysis difference and all? How the difference is coming?
I didn't try that runtime analysis and all, but I tried with the select query and whether it is working or not. Like that I tried.
So just asking you a simple question. So between this query and the earlier way that we used to write, just getting the data and then doing manipulation, which one is better?
Yeah, this one is better. But I have one more question regarding this. If real-time we used to merge some 10 to 20 tables, right?
Join, right.
With for all entries. Then we can do like this also. How we can manipulate the final internal table?
So what happens actually? I'll just give you a small heads up. So if your requirement, you are able to cater to your requirement by using inner join, left outer join, right outer join, or anything. I have gone up to 14 joins. Okay, frankly speaking, I have gone up to 14 joins in a single modern enhanced OpenSQL query. Up to 14 joins using all manipulations, I've got the data, and it was very fast. If you want to get the data from very huge database tables, like example CDSDR, CDPOS, then your MadDoc, ACDoka, and all those very big tables, my recommendation will be to then move to AMDP. Then your performance will be much more faster. That we will cover during day 9 and day 10. Like how do we choose between where to go for OpenSQL or CDS or AMDP.
Okay.
Is it okay, Vimla?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, fine. So you understood the concept, right? If you want to join,
Yeah.
if it is able to cater to your needs, see, a common, important point for all of you, before writing any enhanced OpenSQL, just do a data analysis with the help of SE11 or SE16N. See if the join will be able to work or not. One more trick I am giving you, if you people have got access to your HANA database, if your organization is having HANA as a database, and if you people have got access to your HANA database from development perspective or anything, just try to write these queries in your HANA database. Okay, see what you are using in your ABAP inbuilt functions, just make sure that those will not work in your HANA database. What I mean is to try to do the analysis of data between joins and all, and like before putting it at the application layer. If you want to analyze the data, just make use of the select query in your SQL console in your HANA database, get the data, analyze the data, then come here, then do all kind of these functions and all, and then your query is done, as per my suggestion. Then like obviously you can have your own methods, like how I do. Is it fine?
Yeah, fine.
Okay, Mullah. So I hope that there is no further doubts. In case if you have not tried any of the pending points of any of this assignment, please refer to the solution, or first try it out, and then if you are stuck up, please again refer to the solution, or in case if you have any doubts, please let us know tomorrow or in the upcoming classes. Fine. So can we then move forward today with the today's agenda? Okay, fine then. So today's agenda will be covering what's a REST API, okay? Then your what's basically how to understand about JSON. We will learn how to create a simple JSON. Then we will do the JSON as in like whatever JSON data that you get from calling the APIs, how to do the analysis of that JSON data. Then the most important part, how to consume a REST API via ABAP, as in with the ABAP coding. Concept of serialize or deserialize, which will be very important with respect to whenever we are handling REST API consumption, and what are the important points that you need to keep in mind. So one simple survey, how many of you have ever worked on REST API consumption? Anyone? Anyone who has worked on REST API consumption? Other participants? Okay, fine. Fine then. So let me first set the context for you. Okay, please focus. So we'll be starting a very important topic, and this REST API consumption, please make it very clear, guys. This REST API consumption as a part of development perspective from an ABAP's point of view is very crucial, because with S4HANA and cloud, as in with SAP moving its focus towards your cloud, more and more of REST API consumption will be coming into picture. So you need to be very clear with the concepts as to what is REST API and how do we consume the same, to make it very simple. Fine. So suppose we want to have a dynamic weather update across different places across the world, right? So what I want to do is I want to build an application wherein I want to show all the weather updates. Suppose this is my requirement. Now to achieve this requirement, manually if we have to do, what will we have to do? We will have to put weather sensors all across all places, right? Am I right? Yes or no? I will have to put weather sensors, the weather sensors across all the places, right? Now, if I have to put weather sensors across all places, do you think will it be feasible? Yes or no? Will it be feasible? Will it be feasible for me even if I have an organization? It will not be feasible, right? Because it is going to cost me billions of dollars. And who is going to invest that amount of money? So what do we do then? So we will need the data from somewhere, but now the question that should arise in your mind, that from where will we get that weather sensor data? So what happens actually, we can get this data from certain web servers which are somewhere there on the cloud, and they will provide us this data. But again, there is one more question which you should ask me, that how can we generate the dynamic data here, right? Now the weather keeps on changing at every interval, like you will leave 1 hour, at every 15 minutes or 30 minutes odd, the weather will keep on changing, right? So how will I get this dynamic data? So actually there are a lot of different providers who are ready to provide this kind of dynamic weather update data. Just I'm taking this weather data for an example. So there are a lot of different providers who are ready to provide this kind of dynamic weather data. And we just have to call them to get the data, and this data which will come to us, it will be either in JSON or XML format, as we just need the raw data. So here is where your REST API will come into picture to just send me the representational state of that data. What I mean is, when I call these the data providers, I need the raw data, right? Because after that, once I get the data, I will manipulate with it. So this is where, to just get the representational state of that data, REST API comes into picture. Till this point, is it clear how REST API comes into picture? Now, with REST API coming into picture, I'll again come back here. First, I'll shift my focus that you need to understand what is JSON, because I am using this word JSON or XML. Primarily, we as ABAP developers have to mostly focus on JSON. Mostly. Requirements may come on XML also, but mostly we have to focus on JSON. So JSON, as I say, it's in JavaScript object notation. Is anybody aware about JSON here? Anybody aware about JSON? Okay, I'll take it as a no. Fine. So JSON, to make it very simple, it's basically a data representation format which is very similar to your XML, wherein we transfer the data from client to server and server to client. So this is my server, this is my client. I am calling this data client to server, server to client. The data comes in either in my XML format or in my JSON format. So it's simply a data representation format which is very similar to XML, wherein we can transfer data from client to server and server to client. It's very commonly used for all these REST APIs and configuration files. You know why it's used? It's used because it's very lightweight. It's extremely lightweight to send the data back and forth due to its very small size. And the best part is its human readability. That it's very easy to read as compared to something like XML. Now guys, if you tell me, if you compare this to this XML and this JSON, just tell me, if you are a novice, you don't know anything, just tell me which one is easy to read. Is this one easy to read or this one easy to read? Just tell me which one, JSON or XML? JSON, right? That's why it's very much widely used, because of its lightweight. Second part, because of its human readability. Third part, it's much more clear as compared to XML. And the best part, you don't have to bother about so much opening tag, closing tag, and so on. Just as we write in ABAP, not in ABAP actually, when we are doing concatenation, we are writing. So similar to that, like we have to put curly braces. So almost your every single major programming language has some sort of library or built-in functionality to parse this JSON string data into objects or classes with respect to that programming language. And because of these libraries, it makes us possible to work with this JSON data in an extremely easy way. So I will relate this point later on during the session today, that how those programming libraries which we have, how it enables us to handle this JSON data in an extremely easy way. Now, basically your JSON natively supports the below types. Let me show you the types. Okay, so as I was telling you, it's basically simply a data representation format. It is very commonly used for REST APIs and configuration files. It's lightweight and read and write. Okay, and it easily integrates with most of the language. Now coming to the JSON types, you need to be very much aware about these JSON types, like what are the types that it takes. So in JSON type, mostly we need to focus on the object type, because this will be the most used type with JSON. This will be the most used type within JSON, wherein we always focus on the key value pair. Like suppose if the name is Mirko, so within double quotes name, then colon, then Mirko. Now coming in the reverse direction. So first, if you see strings, example, now Mirko is a string, or anybody, suppose Sudha or Aditi or Vimla or anyone. Now that name is a string, right? So if I'm giving name here, now the key is name, the value is in string. So now the value will be coming under double quotes. Suppose Vimla. Now suppose age. So if I'm giving the age here, now age, the key is age within under quotes, but the value is a numeric number, so it will not be under quotes. Suppose I want to specify something as true and false. So Boolean, it supports true and false. If for some of the key value, the value is null, then I need to specify, suppose for some person ABCD, I don't know the age. So age, then null. Now coming to array. Now if I want to pass more than one set of data, so obviously I have to use arrays like 1, 2, 3 and so on. Till this point, is it clear? What are the different JSON types and what is the mostly used one? The object type. Okay. So now let us see how to create a JSON. Okay, just a sample JSON by making use of Google Chrome. Just guys, give me a second. Let it open up. Okay. So in your Google Chrome, what you do, first of all, all of you go to your Google Chrome and then press your function F12. All of you press the function F12 once you have gone to your browser. Then you go to your console. Okay. Then you go to your console and here just click on this refresh and close this. Fine. It should look like this. Now let us create our JSON. So what I am trying to do, I am trying to specify the key value pairs for a variable called companies, and I want to specify 2 records. So where companies equals to, now since this will be an array, right, 2 records, right? So what did I show for array? It will be your third brackets, low, open bracket, close bracket. Now for every record there will be certain object key value pair, right? So I will use the object key value pair. I have to do this, and since I want 2 records, So 1 and 2. Now for here, let me specify the records in the JSON format, the data. So let me specify the name. So name of the organization. Then suppose the name of the organization is big corporation. Okay. Once I've given the first data, comma, then suppose I want to specify number of employees. And this is my number. So suppose my number of employees is 1000. Then let's go to put a space after each and every one. Let's have my CEO. So suppose CEO is me. Then once I have given the CEO, let me give the rating. So suppose I give the rating as 4.1. Fine. Now I want to have the same set of data for the other record, but I will change the values. Suppose instead of big corporation, this is a small corporation. Now the number of employees is 50. CEO, there is no CEO of this organization. So if there is no value, what did I say? Put null. And rating is 4.5. Okay. So now done. Now let me show you the output of this. So do console.log and select companies and say this. So can you see my two data got created? First is my name, big corporation, number of employees is 1000, CEO Kabir, rating as this. And for the second record, so as we know that in array it starts from 0 and 1. So 0th record and 1th record. Suppose I want to see the first record and the name. So my variable is companies. So I select companies. Now this is my array, right? So I give 0. Okay. Then if you see, just if I give 0, it displays here. See, it's very friendly. Company 0, it shows all the object value pair. Now just if I specify, I need the value of name. Okay. So now I give name, enter. See here, company 0 dot name, I get my value. Suppose now for the second record, I want who is the CEO. So companies. So what I'll do? So companies 1 dot so null, this way. Is this clear? Did you all understand how did I create a JSON? Guys, is this clear? So I give 5 minutes to all of you now. Please practice this same. Please practice this same. So what I'll do, I have opened this up for you. Okay. So please practice this same. MC, we will validate JSON. Will show you everything. We'll go step by step. First you create this, then I'll show you how to validate JSON and all. Stephanie, what I did, go to Google Chrome. After you go to Google Chrome, click on, press on this thing F12. Or if you don't want to do that, example, this opens up. Go to inspect. Once if you go to inspect, go to console. Understood, Stephanie? You can go through two ways. Go to Google Chrome, press F12, this will open up. Go to console, click on this clear console. Everything will be cleared. Is it clear, Stephanie? Okay. So please practice this same. Here, I have just I'll just make it a bit. Is this fine? You people are able to see this clearly, right? This is very much clear, right? Fine then. First practice this one. Stephanie, even I am shared the steps here, Google Chrome, right click and all. First practice this one. Then we will go to how do we validate our online JSON data. Guys, you all have got 5 minutes. Please ensure that you create your JSON data similarly. You can use any parameters. Just for reference, I showed you this. You can create any object key value pair, but please create 2 to 3 records and see, and just then try to get the data by giving your variable name as in your array name and see how you are handling it. Mirko, once you have defined a variable, you cannot go back there. Then you need to make use of pushing data into an array. So companies.push, and then you need to pass one more object data. Basically, this is the syntax of JavaScript and all. Is it clear, Mirko? So what I am telling is, now suppose if I want to push data here, so companies dot, can you see push, this push, in this push data, this is for inserting data into an array in JavaScript. So this syntax is actually my JavaScript syntax. So companies dot push, and then I have to pass this kind of object key value here. Did you understand the concept, Mirko? Now what okay? Later on you can try this out. Just use companies.push and then pass the same set of data in an object key value pair. The object will go and then try to fetch it out. Suresh, basically see, as an ABAPer you don't have to create JSON, but I want you to get the basic hands-on in JSON so that you know that when you are validating JSON, because in ABAP, when you will get the data, you will get the data in JSON format. So there you won't be having to create the data in JSON. And even as I told, the two concepts, serialize and deserialize. There are libraries and classes which will create the JSON data for you. But I want you to get familiar to how it looks like. Now, the most of the 99.99% the data will come in this way only. So Danny, you need to make sure that this open bracket, close bracket syntax, make sure that this is as per this syntax. Anyways, not an issue. We will validate the JSON data in 1 more minute. You will be able to understand if it is right or if it is wrong. Danny, you understood you have got wrong in your syntax. Please check your syntax. We're all able to achieve the same. Okay, Aldo. So Aldo, did you like creating your first JSON, or had you already created prior to this today? Of course. So Aldo, you liked it, right? Great. So guys, is it done? Should we move forward? Fine then. So, as I was telling you, there are certain validators links which will help you to validate your JSON data. Suppose example I have provided these two. Okay, I take this, I put it here. Now I press it here. What do you do? Pick up the JSON data from here. I'll pick up the JSON data from here. Okay, and now try to validate JSON. See, error passing on line 6. Can you see? Expected, see here. It gave me an error. Can you see this? So now what I do, I put this, sorry, I remove this, and here, now let me try to validate. See, because of the space that I am providing, it is giving me an error, passing on line number 6. Here, at this position. At this position. So here, if I put it here, and I put here, and I put here. Okay. Now if I validate the JSON, see, valid JSON. Did you understand what I do? Why the error was coming? I purposely, what I did, since this was an array, it was consisting of 2 records, right? So what I did, I purposely did not pass this open third bracket and the end of third braces. Did you see? I purposely did not pass this. So what was happening, when I just tried to pass this data, it was not able to understand that in this JSON, it is of this object type, this array object type, this array object type. That is the reason why I first made you understand the different JSON types. So it was not able to understand the array object type. After that, when I provided these 2 braces, then it understood that this is an array object type having again objects inside the array object type. And this is my first object key value pair, and this is my second object key value pair. Did you understand? Now what I'll do, for your convenience, I'll take a public API and I'll show you. So what I mean is, I'll take this API. I will show you first how to analyze a public API JSON data. Example, I enter this. Fine. I have got the data in this way. Okay. Now I want to show you one more very useful link, as in this one. How handy it is. Please understand this concept very carefully, because before proceeding with any requirement on REST API, you should be able to analyze the JSON data very well. Okay, just select the entire data, Control C. Here, just copy paste the entire data, remove white space, then go to your viewer. Once again, should I repeat? Did you understand up to this point, or should I repeat again? Is it clear up to this point what I did? Okay, I'll start again. So, first of all, please bookmark these links in your browsers once you get this PPT. Find, enter. Now, what do you do? Whatever APIs you have, whatever data you have, as in the public API URLs or anything you have, just enter the same, get the data. So my meaning is, whatever JSON data you already have that you need to handle, get the data, select the entire data, copy the data, go to this link, paste the same here, okay, remove if like any spaces if any, go to this viewer mode and arrive to this point. Up to this point, is it clear now? How did we arrive to this point? Now, please understand this point very carefully. This symbol, array wala symbol implies that this particular JSON data which you are having, this is equal resemblance to your internal table having 10 set of records. Please mark my words. This symbol, which is of type of array, this resemblance to your internal table in ABAP, which is having 10 records. And now if I open the first record and if I open randomly the third record, if you know that if an internal table is of deep type having structure components and all, my structure component will remain the same, right? So similarly, my structure components as in the fields key and the value for this structure record or this structure record, it will remain the same. Now the next point is, as I was referring to this deep table type, if we expand this and expand this, see, it again remains the same. Again, if I expand this and expand this, this again remains the same. So I once again repeat, minimize everything. This JSON resembles to your internal table having 10 set of records. Now if I want first set of record, if I want to see the fifth set of record, all my structure values will be same. And if you see this, this is a structure having a structure within. This is a structure having a structure within. So this is a very good example of a deep table type, right? So for a deep table type, how we handle in ABAP, in the same way, if you see the data here, this is having a structure which is having a structure within it. Again, this is having a structure which is having a structure geo within it. So this first record is having two structures again within it, address and company. If you see, company is a flat structure, address is the nested structure, because under geo it's again one more structure. Up to this point, is it very clear how I was trying to resemble the same with ABAP? Because this data analysis, you need, after seeing this kind of data, you need to be very much clear in your mind that how we have to handle this kind of data. So please be very clear with up to this point. That's why I took this public API to show you this kind of scenario. Okay, fine. Now I'll close this. I'll close this. So this is what I have showed you. How do you have an overview of the sample JSON data? So you can get the JSON data in any format. It may be given to you by someone, or there may be a public API which you may have to use, or there may be restricted APIs in cloud which will be specific to your project requirement. So there you may have to use Postman to get the JSON data. So you can get the JSON data in any format. So just for reference, I showed by making use of a public API. So once you get the JSON data, put it under the JSON viewers.stat.hu, then analyze the data as it is having a structure type or a deep table type or a plain internal table, or how the data looks like. Okay. Now moving forward to how do we consume a REST API via ABAP. Okay, so let me open Eclipse. We will start with the program. So let me create a new program. Okay. So I'll go to other ABAP repository object. I'll select ABAP program. Click on next. So Z. So Z demo REST API consumption. Okay. Fine. If anybody of you have logged into the system, please come out of the system and please focus here. Please don't, you will get time to practice. Please focus here because this will be very crucial as to what are the different steps that we need to write to get a call an API. Okay. So first step is I have to specify the URL because I use an URL to get the API data, right? So data lb underscore URL type string. So one question that you should ask me, like, why I am not specifying inline declaration to pass this URL value? Why? I will give you the answer in 2-3 odd minutes. So I will use this URL here and I will pass the value. Okay. So once my URL is ready, let's focus here on the first step. So there is a class called CL underscore HTTP underscore client. Okay. Please make a note of this class. So what I told, my first step here, create an HTTP client object. Step 1, create an HTTP client object. So how do we create an HTTP client object? By making use of the class CL underscore HTTP underscore client. Okay. Shift and enter. Sorry, don't shift and enter here. CL underscore HTTP underscore client. Now you need to choose there are two static methods. One is create by URL and the other is create by destination. Now let us first focus on create by URL. So create by URL, let us complete the signature. Now once you complete the entire signature, now this. Now why I did not make use of inline declaration was, if you navigate to this create by URL class and method, okay, if you just navigate to this here, go to the signature. If you see, my URL is of type string. Now when you do an inline data declaration, the LV URL, data LV URL suppose equals to this, that type will not be compatible with the type here. So either I could have used CONV operator here to convert to string as we have used. So see one thing here, from today onwards, whatever concepts we have learned during all these 4 days, we need to make sure that we start reusing those same so that we get habituated to more and more of all those syntaxes. Okay. So create by URL. Now I'll specify the URL here. Fine. Specify the URL here. Rest all things I don't need at all as of now. One important point, if your organization is having a proxy services at your application server level, you need to connect with your basis team and get the proxy host path and all. If your organization is using any proxy services at your application server level, then you need to get in touch with your basis team and get the proxy services. Now what I'll do, I'll uncomment the same. In this importing, I will use an inline declaration and get the HTTP client object. So what was my first step? One, create an HTTP client object, right? Now here, if my HTTP client object is successful, If step 1 is successful, then we will proceed with all these remaining steps. So what we will do now, as in the step 2, so if my size of RC is equal to 0, that is if it is successful, that is my client object creation is successful. Now what I'll do, I'll go to my step 2. So what my step 2 says? Step 2 says make a request to the server. As we had discussed earlier, for STPA consumption, we will get the data from the server. So for getting the data, we have to make a request. How do we make a request? Make use of this hello_http, the client object that we created, and make use of the method send. Now shift and enter, your entire signature comes. So what I'll do, I'll just uncomment everything. In my timeout value, I'll provide a timeout value of 15 seconds. Fine. Now, so my next step was to send. For that we have to get the response, we have to send this thing, right? We have to make a request. For making a request, make use of the HTTP client object that you created and make use of the send method. Now coming to step 3. What is my step 3? So in my step 3, now that I have made a request, I need to get a response. First, create an HTTP client object. Done. With the client object is successful, then we need to make a request with the help of this client object, hello_http then your instance method send. And now that I've made a request, I need to ask for response. Make a request, ask for response. Now for asking for response, what I'll do, make use of the same HTTP client object, and what you do, call receive. Now shift and enter. Now once you here also, I'll uncomment everything. Okay. So these all exceptions handling are there: HTTP communication failure, invalid state, processing failed, and all. So in any of the step, in any of the exception happens, that means there is some issue with the network call or some issue has occurred. Fine. Now step 3 is done. So I made a request, I have asked for a response. Now the very crucial part. Now that I have asked for a response, I need to get the data, the representational state of data. Mark my words, which I told earlier. So step 4, I need to get the data, right? I have done this part. Step 2 is done. Step 3 is done. I need to get the data. So for getting the data, make use of an inline declaration. Let me get the data in a variable called result, hello_http. So I was getting my receive, ask, make a request, ask for response. So after what, now for this response, I need to get the data. So I will get the data. See here, there is a method called getCData. Delivers the HTTP body of this entity as an entire character data. So let us get the entire thing in your character data. Fine. So getCData. Ended. That's it. So creation done, made a request, ask for response, get the data. So send, first CL HTTP client create by URL, then hello HTTP send. I am sending it, that is making a request. I will ask for a response. So I will do hello HTTP receive, and then from the response that I get, I need to get the data. Step 4 done. Fine. Now that I have done the step 4, first let me see whether I get any data or not with prior 4 steps. So there is a class called CL_ABAP_browser. Fine. With this, I will use the static method show_HTML. Complete the signature. I don't need this much. What I need is only title and HTML string wherein my result will come. So title, I'll uncomment the same. HTML string, I'll uncomment the same. And let me remove this. Let me uncomment exporting. So what I'll do, SAP Yard REST API training. Fine. Now I remove this too. I don't need this. So here in the HTML string, the value variable wherein I got the data, I'll pass it the same here. I don't need this. Let me remove it. Okay. And that's it. Let me try to activate the same. Control and F2. There is no error. Let me activate the same. Fine. So should we take the output? Do you all guys want to see the output of this report with all these 5 steps? Okay. Fine then. Let me make sure that I have activated the same. Yes, I have activated the same. Okay, so you guys are pretty excited. Fine. So now if I do an F8, so I've done an F8. Let's wait for the output. Today the system is a bit slow or what? This Eclipse got stuck up. So what we can do is I think there is some issue with the system today. It's a bit slow, I think. Anyways. Don't take this much of time. Particularly got disconnected. Let me open GUI. Give me a minute. Apologize for the issues. I think there is some issue coming up. Let me open it up through GUI. So I'll take this. System is a bit slow today, I think. See, the problem is that it's having a timeout issue. Yeah, we'll do that. Today, I don't know why the system is behaving abruptly. We'll increase the timeout to 30 odd seconds. Let's see. Now let us try to activate. Otherwise, we will debug and see if in any step we are going wrong. Let's wait. Let us debug the thing. Yeah, Kiran, I think that is the reason. Let us see what's happening. Why it is not proceeding further. So, if you see create by URL, this is successful, right? See your hello HTTP, this client object is created. Now, when I go inside and I do an F6, now there is no error, right? So here also it's successful. In receive also, so in receiving it is not able to receive. I think here the issue is. The issue is in step 3 actually. See here. While receiving, it is not able to receive the data from this public API. No, Kiran, actually, we have earlier also tried this. This works out pretty well. Today, I don't know why it is like this receive step is not working at all. We will do one thing. We will take one more API is there. We will take that API and see. Yeah, we'll take other API. Wait. Did we go wrong with anything? See, this URL, when we are putting it here, this works absolutely fine. This is giving me data. Same thing. Yeah, Kiran, in real projects we do connect using URL. Just a second. Yeah, the communication is not happening. That is the problem. While receiving, normally this was communicating fine. But today I don't know, the communication is not happening in the system today. Because of this, the size of bar is failing here, then it is not able to get any data. Let us see where it has gone wrong. What we will try to do, we will see whether HTTPS version of this is working, or there is one more API, we can take one more API. Fine. So HTTPS. So what we will do is, we'll try to pass HTTPS and see. Fine. Let's see that. Okay. Yeah, Sunil, right. Maybe some basic setup has changed. Just a second. Let us see whether it works with HTTPS. Just let's give us a second. Find the client object got created. So send is also successful and receive. So both are giving failure today. Whether it's HTTP or HTTPS. So what we will do, we'll take a different URL today. Wait, I've got one more URL. We will take the same. There is one more URL. Just give me a second. HTTPS services.odata.org Yeah, I'm trying to take another there is some problem with that URL today. Some basis that someone has changed something. So what we will do, we'll take this service. Okay. And we'll pass the same. Fine then. Let's see if we are able to use the same, okay? So now, let us try to pass the same here. Fine, let's see whether this is working or not. Actually, when we are calling a, yeah, so that tell me why the URL is incorrect. Okay. Actually, when we are doing this REST API consumption, steps remain the same. The only problem is sometimes this basis team, if they do any kind of configuration change or something, then it will impact. Because when we are trying to do a REST API consumption, it's basically a system handshake between our SAP system to a web server, to a server, right? So the layer, that production layer that we have at the app server level. So sometimes these basis teams do this thing. We can create services from SICF also, but I just want to call REST APIs which are there on cloud or something. So now let us see how this behaves. So up to this point it's successful. Send is successful. Yups, receive is successful. Yes guys, we are ready. Let us be ready. Okay. So now let us do F5. Let me show you the result. Yes, it's coming. Yes, it's coming. So do F6. Yes, here it is. Your output finally. Sorry for the delay. Finally we got our output because of some trouble with that API with respect to the handshake between our system and that API. But this is what I wanted to show you, that this is how, if I get call a public API, this is my raw data initially. This is my raw data initially. Okay, this is my raw data, complete raw data. So let us again shift our, I'll remove this. So once again I'll recall. Now let us come back to track. Sorry. So first what we did, we created an HTTP client object, right? Let me do F5. Good that we have a good troubleshooting session. Okay, first step, creation of an HTTP client object. Okay, so with the creation of HTTP client object, if it is successful, then we will make a request. We made a request, then ask for a response. We asked for a response. Then we have to get the data. We got the data, and step 5, display the data. This displaying the data is just for demo purpose, which I'm showing here. Normally what will happen after step 4, we will directly skip to step 6. We will not do step 5. Step 5, I wanted to show you how to display the data comes. So once again, let me show you the output. So this is my entire output of this data. This is the entire output of this data. Up to this point, is it clear, guys? Sorry for the delay because of the technical glitches that we had. Is this point clear? Up to this point? Now, let us shift our focus to how will we handle this raw data by making use of the concept called deserialize, as in we want to convert this data into an internal table, right? We cannot handle this data, the data which has come in this raw format. So we need some mechanism to handle this data. Right, guys? We need some mechanism to handle this data. So to handle this data, we will make use of the concept called, there is a class called /ui2/real_JSON, and there is a method called deserialize. So JSON to ABAP. So convert JSON to an internal table or structure by making use of this class and the deserialize method, which will deserialize the JSON objects into your corresponding ABAP data objects. So let us move to the code. What I mean is, I'll just comment out this out. I don't need this one. So let us shift our focus to step 6. So /ui2/cl_JSON. Okay. Then make use of this deserialize method. Now under this exporting JSON, can you see? So I'll just uncomment out everything first. So JSON, this result variable was in my JSON format, right, guys? This was in JSON format. So I pass this result and to this JSON. Okay. Now JSON X I don't need. Now this JSON X I don't need. Now under pretty name, I have to pass a camel case format. So what do I mean by camel case is, if I take this entire data, okay, I close this, I close this, I close this, and JSON viewer, I pass the same. So I'll pass it here. Fine. And here, if you see here, so let me see if we have anything in. So see here, example. Okay, we will take this reference to make you understand better. So when I was writing this object key value pair while creating a demo JSON data, so if you would have seen, I have given number of employees. Here I have given N as small, then this second OS capital, then this ES capital. Can you see? If I am having more than one word, I have given this N as small, OS capital, ES capital. So this is called my camel case format. Yes, Aldo, the naming convention. So during the naming convention, if you have got more than one word, so example, this username can be written as, normally what will happen when you are getting the data from the cloud. Okay, so the data that you will get in the JSON format will be in camel case format. These public APIs are not following these conventions, but the data which will be getting from cloud, the real-time consumption data, that will be in your camel case format. So what will happen? Your U will be small, N will be capital, F will be small, N will be capital, L will be small, N will be capital, M will be small, this will be capital. Did you understand what I mean to say? What do I mean by camel case format? So that's why here under the pretty name, I have to pass /ui2/en_JSON pretty mode. Okay. After pretty mode, pass camel case. This is what I have to pass. Rest these three things are not required. Remove the same. Now for this output, the variable, now this LT, suppose LT underscore output. Now very important thing is that we, as I told you, that this is my internal table which is having your 20 records. Now this first record, the simple easy way is that I create a structure which is having all these variables. Okay, so what I do is, let me show you what I'll do now. Here, declaration. So first types begin of UI_data. Now if you see here, okay, if you see here, username, first name, last name, middle name, gender, age, and so on, right? So I'll give user name, type string, then first name, last name, middle name, gender, age. First name, type string, then your last name, middle name, and gender. Last name, type string, middle name, type string, gender, type string, then age, type string, emails, then favorite feature, email, type string, then your favorite feature, type string, then features, address info, and home address. Features, type string, address info, type string, and home address, type string. Okay, end of UI_data and data LT_output, type table of UI_data. So now if you observe one thing, what I mean is, now this data, if you see the text here, this initial part of data, this OData context, if you see, I don't need this data, right? Because my JSON starts from this. So if I will try to deserialize this kind of data, why the deserialization will not happen? Because of this conflict, this conflict. So to handle that, what I will do, first I will remove this kind of data from this so that I get a proper JSON data into mapping format. So see, you need to understand, when I'm trying to map the data, this is my JSON data. This can have anything. But my ABAP will understand only my internal table and structures, right? Are you guys getting it? ABAP will not understand more than internal table and structure, right? So when we are trying to map this kind of data, where will this data go? Tell me yes or no. Will this data be able to map to anything? Tell me. Now, what I was trying to do is, I'm trying to create an internal table having the structure as these components, right? So when I'm trying to create an internal table having the structure as these components, that means I am focusing from this part. Now, what about this part? This part, so I can't handle, right? So for handling this part, I will have to first split this data. So, yeah, Danny, we will go one by one. So first we will have to split this data. So before that, now that I've created this, first I will have to split the data. So how do I do that? So prior to doing step 6, what I will have to do is split this data, split result at this. Why this I am writing? Because I have to see, starts from here, I have to split at here because I want this rest of the data. I don't want this data, this line. I don't want this data, right? I don't want this data at all. So split this at this into, I'll make use of inline declaration. So I'll pass the first set of data into string 1 and the second set of data into string 2. Fine. After that I have done the splitting. Now what I'll do for LV string 2, since I eliminated this third braces, open braces, right? Now for JSON, since it's an array of records, this is important, right? So I'll again concatenate back the same. Fine. So how we learned the concatenation? Similarly, pass this. Okay, pass this. Then I will concatenate the same with LV underscore string 2. Fine. Now that my concatenation is done, now if you see this data here, now what we did, we first removed this line, then since we had split at this, so basically this part also went away, so again we added this. Now if you focus at the end, now again at the end there is a curly braces is there, right? But I need the data from this open braces to this open braces. I don't need this last curly brace. Am I right? Are you guys following it, what I'm trying to do? So I will have to see, I am handling with a real-time scenario. This type of scenarios will very much come into picture because you need to manipulate the JSON data to make it usable from ABAP perspective. Okay, so I need to now eliminate this curly braces. Now for eliminating this curly braces, now what I'll do? So data LV final string. Oh my god. So data LV final string equals to make use of the function substring. We had discussed this, right? Val. So LV underscore string 2. Fine. Offset, I will start from 0th position, and total length that I want to specify is strlen. Okay. LV underscore string 2. Fine. This total length minus 1. Right? Am I right or am I wrong? Tell me, guys. Am I right or am I wrong with this syntax? So are you seeing how I am making use of the concepts that we have learned till date? I use inline declaration here. I use the new way of concatenation of the pipe operator here, and I use substring and strlen at one go. Whatever concepts we have studied in these 4 days, I will be reusing all the concepts so that you have more clarity on how to make it much more practical usage. Now, instead of result, now I'll pass this LV final string. Okay. Now I pass this LV final string. Now let us see the output, how it is behaving. Let's see whether everything went right or do we need to do anything. Better is we use GUI because Eclipse is, I'm having some connection issues with that now. Okay. Yes, Stephanie, we will go to that as well. First, let me show you the raw output that is coming. First, let us understand how do we deserialize the same. First, let us understand this part. Okay. Okay, Stephanie, we'll go step by step. Now, let me put a breakpoint here. Let me execute the same. Fine. So we got our data. Now, what do we do? Let us do F5. Let us do F5. Let us do final string. Focus on final string. Go here. Go in the tabular format. Sorry, not in the tabular. In the... If you want to see the data, I can see the text in data format also. So here, see, up to, if you explore till the end, see here, it is now in this format. Now, if I am deserializing the same, and if I do F6, what happened? Went away. Oh, I have not given anything. Shit. Let us put a variable here to stop the execution. Okay. Fine then. Now let me put a breakpoint directly here. Okay. LT output. Yes, here it is. See here. Now let's focus with the first record. Let's focus here. So username, data came. First name, data came. Last name, data came. Middle name, there is null. So what I want you to understand is, if there is a blank value incoming or blank value outgoing. So if there is a null, so null is mapped as blank. Okay. Now gender, male came, age again null, it will be blank. Now Stephanie and all, as you people were asking me. So this is again a nested structure, right? This is a structure having a structure within. So if I do a normal declaration, this point should be kept in mind that if you are creating a local type declaration or a table type declaration for creating this structure, if I just map it like this, there will be no data mapping. So favorite feature, data came. Features, no data came. Then your address info, no data came. And finally your home address, null. Up to this point, is it clear? Is it clear, guys? Since I haven't specified emails, features and address information, the data did not come. Okay, now let us go a step further. So I'll stop this execution. Now what we will do is, we will try to get the data of all those also. Fine. So how do excuse me guys. So we will create structure types which is applicable. So let me show you one scenario. Let me show you for emails. Okay, 0 and 1. Or let me show you for features or address information, address and city. Okay. So let me show. Let us explore for emails. Fine, 0 and 1. So what I'll do, types begin of ty_email. Okay, so 0 type string, 1 type string, end of ty_email. Perfect. Now this type ty_email has to go here. Type ty_email. Shift and F1, Control and F2, Control and activated it. So now let me go back again here. Fine. Let us see whether the breakpoint is still applicable or we have removed it. Okay. So let us put the breakpoint here and let us execute. Fine then. Let us see. Let me do an F6. Let us see the output. Emails, see here. So now that I specified it as a deep structure, email 0 and 1, but the mapping did not happen. Mapping did not happen. Yes. Why the mapping did not happen? Because this email is not of type structure. This email is of type table. This email is of type table. So guys, now tell me, how do we handle this? Tell me, how do we handle this? Any clue? How do we handle this? So Kiran, tell me, if I just keep type table of ty_email, will it work? See, it will give you an error. So Kiran, tell, let's see who gives us the answer for this. Kiran, tell. Kiran, can you please, okay, wait. Let's have a healthy discussion and let's reach out to this answer. I'll just unmute you all. So, Kiran, you can unmute yourself. So what should we do it first? Tell me. If we directly give type table of, obviously it will not work, right? Because it will not take. What should we do? Tell me. Kiran, you can unmute yourself. Let's see, how do we crack this?
You can create table type based on that structure what you have created.
Yeah. So we have to create a. So first of all, we have to create a TT type table of ty_email here, right?
Yeah.
Now tell me, how do we handle this?
That's it, right?
Type. Should we give TT_email?
Yeah.
Should we give here, will it work? No. And if I give here, will it work? No. How do we handle this? Tell me here.
Right. Table type.
Can we include the type which we declared, UI email?
So which one you are telling? Include this one, right?
Yeah.
So tell me, how do we handle? First tell me. I need answers from you guys. Tell me.
I thought table type would work.
Who is this? Can you tell me your name?
And this is Kiran.
Yes, Kiran, tell me.
No, I thought table type would work, but it's what is the error you are getting for that when you give TT and
see here. The thing is that this is 0 and 1, right? And when I'm trying to, I can't directly pass this. So if you just, now this TT underscore email is of table type, right? Yeah. This is of table type. And now this emails that I want to pass, this I can't give that because it will say that TT email is a generic type. Can you see? So if I give here data TT underscore email, okay, and if I give here like, can't I do it?
But this TT underscore email is internal table now, right? Okay. The TT underscore email is nothing but an internal table.
Yeah, right. And which is referring to this structure, right? 0 and 1. So basically, I don't need 0 and 1 here. This is the, this is the 0 and 1 is the record which is coming. So if you see this data, this is the one record, this is the second record. It can have more than one record also. So 0 is the what do you say? First record, second record, third record, and so on, right?
Okay.
Are you getting my point?
Yeah, understood. Yeah.
So if you write, if I just write here email type string, okay, then here this is my first record, first email. This is my second email. So data table, I can just basically it's an internal table which is of type table of this work area. And here, since I have created a table type of this internal table, and I want to make like this internal table. Let us see whether this solution works out or not. Okay.
Okay.
So now let me put again this thing and let's debug the same, whether our solution is working or not. Fine. Now let us do an F6 LT output standard table. See here, the data did not get mapped. Because why the data did not get mapped now? Why the data did not get mapped now? Because I specified a field call as email, right? I specified a field call as email, right? If you see here, there is no such field called as email. So what I want you to show is, if by mistake you specify, this is not applicable for this only. The point to be kept in mind is, if by mistake for any field, if I specify a wrong field name, which is not existing at all, then my data mapping will fail. This is the point that I want to show you. Since I specified email here, that's why that got failed. Understanding my point?
Okay. So field name has to match then, right?
Yes. So now what do we try to do is, any solution, how do we handle this point now? So we can do one thing. Let us make it, because this is of type string with default key. Okay, let me comment the same as I don't need it, and now let it make it. Now let us try this solution. Okay, now if I activate the same, let me come out of the output. Fine. Let me again, let us see whether the debugger is in place or not. Yes, the debugger is in place. Now let me do an H6, LT output, email. Yes, see here. Did you understood, Kiran, why I purposely made the mistake and then we reached here?
Okay, yeah, I understood.
Kiran, is it clear now?
Yeah, yes, Kabir.
Yeah. Is it clear to all?
Kabir,
is it clear to all? Yeah, Kiran, tell me.
No, I want to ask you one question. You know, defining internal table, right? Always you define with key. Is there any significance? Well, I never
wait a second. Wait. Let me just refresh this. Now tell me. Yeah, tell me.
No, whenever you create any internal table, right? You always create with key or with default key.
Okay. See, it's just a habit. Even if you don't give, it doesn't matter. But why I give is, suppose if you want to now create a sorted table. So for creating a sorted table, the parameter on which you sort it has to be unique, right? Right? Am I right or am I wrong? Tell me.
Correct. Yeah.
So then obviously you have to specify a key, right? And otherwise, if you would have see, I have a habit of giving empty key, wherein you like without any key. So empty key. And why I gave a default key here is just like data. I created a internal table which will be of type string. See, we had done this during one of our assignment practice or day-to-day practice. Do you remember? I was trying to create a type table of I or type table of C or type table of data element. Same concept I've used here. Same concept. First of all, initially why I did the mistake, you understood what is the mistake that we are going to face, and that mistake we are bound to happen. We will try to map a field with an unknown field name. Then my issue will come. Are you getting my point?
Okay.
My issue will come if I try to map a field with a non-named field, because when JSON data with the help of deserialize, you are trying to convert from JSON to ABAP. At ABAP, I have to make something meaningful for the JSON to be getting mapped to my ABAP.
Okay.
So that's why when I made a mistake, data did not get mapped. When I tried to make something called as vague called 0 and 1. So now you people would have observed at the starting of the session I told, mark these these symbols. This signifies internal table, this signifies work area. So just randomly when I made a mistake, then if you see when I again come back and observe this is my internal table. And after that I observe that this is my internal table, then if I shift our focus here, I try to create a work area and provide it 0 and 1. But this 0 and 1 doesn't make any significance here, because this is my first record, this is my second record. So whatever concept we did, we created an internal table, type table of string with default key. And why I have to use like here, you people are asking me. Okay, now example, if I make use of type, if I make use of type Stephanie, now for you, if you see here, just understand the error. Type tt_email is unknown. First of all, this I have declared by making use of data, right? By making use of data, not a table type, right? Stephanie, just tell me. So now this is having my data. If you specify data here and if I use type here, this type is within a again a local structure which I am trying to create by making use of types. So how will this understand if you give type here? This is not a table type. This is an internal table. Am I clear, Stephanie? Are you getting my point? This is an internal table. This is not a table type. Hence, I have to make use of like this field will be of like this internal table. If I replace this, okay, you want me to replace this. If I replace this, then obviously I have to give type here. That's it. If I replace this, this gets replaced. If I make it data, this gets replaced. Is it clear? Why I use like if I use data, and if I use types, I have to use type. You can go with anything. You can go with anything. Fine, I'll again make it data. I just want to show you the different combinations that you can use. That's only my purpose. Is it clear, Willie? Why I wanted to show you data and like, so that you can get a feel of this also. Fine. Now, someone is asking, Aldo, you are asking why I am giving user underscore name, right? Okay, fine. Let me remove this underscore. Okay. Let me remove this underscore for both of these. So what do you think? Will it impact on the output, Aldo? Yes or no? Will it impact on the output? Okay, let's see that. Let's see that. Oh, the system is having a horrible timeout session. I'm going mad with this timeout session. I hope you people will also be going mad with me. Sometimes it's better to put an external breakpoint. See, now it went. Okay, cool then. Let's reveal all your surprises that you people are telling whether no or yes. Let's see what's gonna happen. Let me do an F6, LT output. Yes, nothing is gonna happen. Why nothing is going to happen? Why nothing is going to happen? Let me answer you that as well. If you see this, what did I tell you? That this is not a proper scenario where this is of a camel case. Please mark my words. If this was a camel case scenario, and you try to do the mapping just like this, the mapping will fail. You can try it out. What you can try it out is, when you prepare the internal table, we will show you, when I make you understand the concept of serialize, you try to create a JSON data and then try to map it back by deserialize. Then what you see, if you try to have any camel case fields, okay, any camel case fields, what will happen actually is, if you don't specify like this, what do I mean by this underscore is that this user capital NAME, how does this take care? This gets taken care through this pretty name. This is responsible for all those underscores and all. This makes it understand that the camel case user capital NAME to be mapped to user underscore NAME. This is responsible for handling that camel case and this underscore. Aldo, is your doubt clear now? Is your doubt clear now why I was making you getting habituated to underscore? Because in your real-time scenarios, you will be forced to face the camel case scenarios. That is the reason why I was writing user underscore name. Here there is no impact because here there is nothing in camel case. If it is in camel case, then you need to make sure that you handle in this way. Is it clear to everyone, guys? how to handle the camel case scenarios. Now that I have handled this email, your assignment as a part of your homework will be to handle these features. Okay, handle these features and also this address information. Why? Because if you see here, this is an internal table having a record within it as in a structure address, and again within it is a nested structure called city, which is again having name, country, region and region. This will be your homework assignment, to handle features, which you will handle in the same way as I did for emails, and get the data of address information. So you need to get the data of address information as in map the data and show the output, and similarly for features as we did for emails. These two will be your homework assignment. Now coming to the next part, as in, just a second. Sorry guys, some technical glitch happened. Can you just kindly confirm we were up to? Please confirm up to which point were you people able to hear? We started with the requirement wherein we want to get only the first name, this three data, username, first name and last name from this deserialized data. From this deserialized data, username, first name and last name, that is after that we have deserialized, we want to pass these three set of data into other internal table and convert that internal table into a JSON format. This is what our requirement was, right? So what we have done as of now is we have created a table type, username, first name and last name, then table type declaration, then data LT underscore output 1, value TT underscore data. Now, as we had used the for operator for ls underscore output in LT underscore output. Okay. Now I'll not specify any where condition. What I'll do is I'll pass the values. So user underscore name equals to ls underscore output user underscore name. Then username I wanted first name and last name. So first name ls underscore output first name. Okay, and finally my last name I'll repeat. I'll again discuss the homework assignment at the end of after we complete this. Okay, I'll recap those 5 minutes, not an issue. We'll once again start from that point. Fine. So ls underscore output, and now here last name. Fine. Now that our internal table is done, right? I have populated the data here. Okay. Now that I have populated the data here, now what I'll do, I'll try to lb underscore json underscore output fine equals to /ui2 /cl underscore json. Now use the concept of serialize, shift and enter. Fine. Uncomment the same. Now under data we will pass the data that we want to convert to your JSON format. Okay, and compress. I want to compress. What do I mean by compress is, if there is any data in this internal table for which a respective component has got a blank value, that particular component data will be compressed, that it will not get converted to your JSON format. And I want that same camel case wala this thing. Okay, so pretty mode camel case, I pass it here and I don't need these other things. Just a second. I will have to pass this under here and I don't need this name. Narayana, wrong parameter, I didn't get you. Is it fine now? So this means that you people are completely focusing on the training. That's really good. Okay, so now done. Now let us activate the same. So now what we will do, Now we'll go to the debugger mode here. I know Pakka know that this connection will be gone by this time. So let us see now how it behaves. Fine. I'll put a breakpoint here. Okay. Let me execute the same. Fine. Now let me do a F5 of this. So LT underscore output 1, 20 records. I got this right. This is the same concept that we had understood in your week 2, the for operator. Now let me do an F6 and let me double click on this JSON output. Now what I'll do, not in the tabular format. Now let me entirely copy the data, go to this, clear everything, pass the same, go to viewer, here it is. See here, this is what I wanted you to make you understand. Are you getting my concept? Why I passed user underscore name and how to use the concept of serialize? Doesn't this look beautiful? The concept, you understood first the concept of deserialize. Now you understand the concept of serialize. I club it together to make you understand how to use both the features, convert from one format to the other format and vice versa. JSON to ABAP, deserialize. ABAP to JSON, serialize. And in your real-time cases, it will always, most of the time, 99.99%, it will be in camel case. And this is the way you need to handle the same. Yes, Manikant, you are right. Why I was using that format? To make you understand this point. Okay. What you can experiment with this now. Now with this data, you try to again get the data back. Okay, you try to create an internal table with this data and try to map this JSON data and don't give underscore and all. Just give user name and then see how it will behave. Try this out today after this class. Try this out today. So guys, up to this point, is it clear? Sudha, why do you want to head the header in deserialize? If you see the API where you are sending the data, it understands this format. That header which you got, that is because you are using a public API and all. When in your real-time scenarios, you have to just parse the data in your JSON format in this way, and rest let that server take care. No, they are there to take care of that. You just pass this data in this representational state format, they will take care of that. That is their headache, not our headache. Are you getting it, Sudha? Fine then. So I have specified a link here. Once you get this PPT, please explore this link. This covers a very beautiful concepts on how to serialize and deserialize. Okay, this is a very handy link. Please bookmark the same. So the important points that I had told you is that if while mapping, if you pass the mapping, if you give anything as wrong thing, like username, if I change to user NME, so then my mapping won't happen. You have to take a note of this. Second, for nested table types and all, you have to handle as per the situation. If it's an internal table, then I can use like or type as I give earlier, or if it's a work area, type directly the work area. So you need to take care of this point. And third, while during serialize, if I don't want to pass any value, okay, then you need to compress ABAP underscore true, so that with respect to this LT underscore output 1, if you make this first name as blank, then this first name value will not go. try this out. Make this entire column as blank. This entire column is blank. Okay, this entire column is blank, and then you try to see if you give ABAP underscore true, what will happen. Let me show you now only. So what I mean is, here first name, instead of giving this, I gave this first name as this, right? Let me pass as blank. Okay. Now Shift and F1, Control and F2, Control and F3. I have activated the same. Now, okay. Now what I'll do is, my breakpoint is there. Okay. Now my F6 LV-JSON output is this. Now let me go to my HTML browser format. See here, username came, the first name did not come here. Can you see? It has been compressed. Can you see? I haven't passed any data. This is what I meant, that I have compressed the data. And because of that, you won't be able to see the same in your JSON output as well. This is what I meant. Is it clear now why I was using compress as true? Guys, is this point clear?
Yeah, Kalesh.
Yeah. So what I meant is, when I put compress equals to true, see here, I have passed my first name as blank here. So while the JSON getting prepared as a part of the serialize, I don't want to pass this blank or null values or the initial values. So if I put use compress equals to ABAP true, and the output, the JSON which you get created, it will not contain those blank values. Well, the middle name is not there. Fine. So now coming to the assignment which I was telling you. So in the assignment, what we did today is, the assignment for you today is, if you go to this output, sorry, the earlier one. Just a second. I think some issue is not loading properly. Anyways, I'll explain you through this. So if you would have seen, as I handled for emails, similarly you need to handle for your features, because this is also an internal table having more than one record. Okay. Okay. Now let me see. Okay. So the way I handled for emails, first assignment is you need to handle for features. Okay. Second assignment is the address information that you people are able to see. This is again having an internal table. It can have more than one records as well. Please keep in mind. Please focus on this symbol. This emails or features or address information. Okay. This can have more than one records as well. So we have handled for emails. First you need to handle for features. Then you need to handle for address information, but there is a twist now. Here, this was straightforward type table of string. But here, this cannot be a type table of string, because this is again having a structure. So this is having a type table of this structure. This structure and this structure again having records inside it, which is having address and city. Is this assignment clear? What 2 points that you need to do?
Yeah.
Is it clear, guys? So this will be very interesting to see how do you handle this scenario. This address information is a table of structure. This structure is again having the components address and city, and inside city it's again a structure. If you really crack this out, you can just feel very confident about yourself that the scenarios that you will get in real time will almost be similar to this as to how to handle the structures. And one more important tip I'll give you, rather than me giving all the declaration as in with the requirement perspective, suppose the requirement is that the functionals come and tell you that they want you to get the data of the gender, get the data of the email, and this data is stored in the master data. Compare this, get this data from the API, pass this to the master data, compare if this email is existing or not, and then validate the same. So what you will do, you don't need to declare everything. You just declare emails, get the data, validate the same, and that's it. Smart declaration. No need of doing all declaration. Today I did all declaration just to make you understand how this entire thing works. Is this point clear, guys? Ankit, simple. I just put an underscore just to make you understand that if I put here user underscore name, the ultimate output that you are getting in your, after you have generated your JSON data, that it will come in user underscore name format, as in it will come like this, user underscore name, because in your real-time scenario this will be your camel case format. After the first word, the second word that it will start, second, third and so on, it will be capital. So if I put underscore, automatically when you are trying to map a camel case data at your ABAP layer, then it will map the same with respect to this. That is what the significance of that underscore. Fine then? Okay. Fine then we can call it a day today. I hope you had an interesting session today, like how to consume REST API. No, so that it's not like that it can be consumed only in HANA Cloud. Who is this? Can you please speak up a bit louder?
Yeah, hi, this is Sanskriti.
Yes, Sanskriti, tell me.
Yeah, just one small question, Kabir. So we have been hearing this ABAP on HANA. So does all these things, whatever we have discussed till this day 5, are these all these things included in ABAP on HANA, or like what is the expectation if we say ABAP on HANA? Then what all should we be knowing?
ABAP on HANA, basically you should start focusing on your modern ABAP, CDS and AMDP. As an ABAP on HANA developer, to make it very much simple for you in one line, ABAP on HANA as a database. So how you are exploring the features and the feasibilities of HANA as a database, that implies that you are doing developments with perspective to ABAP on HANA. Does that answer you in one line?
Yeah, Kabir. Okay. Yes. So today, whatever we have
understood
discussed is. Today whatever we have discussed, the JSON thing, the JSON, how to read the data, how to deserialize and serialize, this is for, I mean for cloud as well as goes for CDS as well, is it?
See, this is in your report or any FM or whatever you are developing, whatever it is. If you are connecting your ERP system to a cloud-based API, you will try to speak with your system to your cloud-based API to get the data, right, Sanskriti? So I am just showing you how do we make interaction with those RESTful APIs, get the data, do all kind of validations or what. See, once I get the data in the internal table, then we are master at that, right? After I get the data in my internal table, I am mastering in my validations or whatever it is. So up to that point, I am trying to handhold you to how to get the data via REST API into my internal table. That's it.
Okay, that's correct, Kabir. But Kabir, that's correct. But this is not relevant for ABAP on HANA, correct? I mean, there is nothing to do with ABAP on HANA.
No, what I'm telling is ABAP on HANA. See, she asked me ABAP on HANA. Now, actually, what has happened? with S4HANA systems coming into picture, more and more API calls have started coming into picture. With Suite on HANA and your S4HANA coming into picture, our systems have started integrating with more and more of cloud-based APIs. So with ABAP on HANA coming into picture, this RESTful APIs came more into limelight. That is what I want to say. But it's not that it's restricted to this thing called ABAP on HANA or something. Even in your old AC systems, if you want to interact with your data by getting data from RESTful APIs, even you can do the same.
Yeah, correct. Okay.
Does that answer your question, Kiran?
So yeah, I understood. What about the tomorrow's plan? What are we going to cover?
Tomorrow we start with CDS. Tomorrow we start with CDS. Okay.
Yeah.
So please work on the 2 assignments that I gave you. Fine then? Yeah. So that we can use the REST API with 7.5 or 7.4. It's not about specific to HANA database. Here we are trying to read data from cloud or any public service. Okay. So it's just that your EPM has to see why did we face issue in the first one. Now there's some configuration of something someone changed, right? And because of that only we had a tough time. That's why we had a tough time. But it was a good learning session for us. Don't you think so? Because we faced issues, that's why we switched to some other API and we could explore more. Don't you think so in that way? /UI to /CL JSON, there is nothing called camel Danny. If you see here this thing, I'm using pretty name. I'm not using any camel. I'm using pretty name and compress. Fine then. So can we call it a day today then? Okay, we'll call it a day today. Yeah, Danny, actually see, some restrictions will obviously come. SAP keeps on evolving with each and every release of it. So whatever we learn today, maybe you will find some updated features in the next release. So that is what I told you. So I hope today you really like today's session as to how to consume REST API with those 5 important steps. So once again, I conclude in the same way. Step 1, create a HTTP client object. Step 2, make a request. Step 3, ask for a response. Step 4, once the response is there, get the data. Step 5, you please ignore it. Step 6, you should be master at this. Parse the data, JSON to internal table or XML to internal table. This you can ignore as of now. Most of the time it will be JSON to internal table. So creation of HTTP client object can be done via URL as well. And the second step is that it can be done via a destination. This will be solely on your APM team because they import some certificates in your system and they will provide you the destination via SM59 and all. This solely depends on your basis team because they have to import the certificate, they have to make the S-Trust connection, and then only they will be able to provide your destination via SM59. Okay, fine then. Okay then, let's call it a day. We'll again connect tomorrow.
Yeah, okay, thank you.